African Democratic Congress has criticized President Bola Tinubu for retaining Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Uche Nnaji, despite allegations of certificate forgery. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC said the government's silence reflects its comfort with corruption and disregard for integrity. The party alleged that both the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and the National Youth Service Corps has disowned the certificates Nnaji presented for his appointment, describing the situation as an embarrassment to the administration's anti-corruption stance. He questioned why Nnaji remains in office despite admitting discrepancies in his credentials. ADC urged President Tinubu to suspend Nnaji and order an independent investigation, insisting that certificate forgery is a criminal offense that must attract legal consequences. The party also called on Senate and the DSS to strengthen their screening processes to prevent future scandals among political appointees. What do you make of this story? It's also very important to note that Uche Nnaji has come out to refute this statement, saying that he attended UNN, graduated from UNN. I think, and he said he graduated in 1985. I think I heard that. I saw that statement, and that he also went for youth service. So,
you know that before Uche will come out to present those certificates, he should have maybe prepared himself to defend it. But however, if UNN had come to say that they didn't issue such certificates to Uche, and NYSC is coming up also to say that the certificate Uche present. So the question should be, where did these things come from? Did Uche go to cyber cafe to print them out? If he had done so, why didn't DSS and the Senate Committee on Screening be able to find out these things? Why they screened Uche? What magic did Uche use to outsmart and pass through the little eyes, the needle eyes of EFCC during his nomination as a minister? So I believe that there is more to this, that ADC rushed out to comment and give ultimatum to Mr. President and accuse Mr. President of harboring corruption or things like that. I think they are too quick. Let them rather carry out external investigations on some of these claims. However, I regret to comment on this topic. Do you know why?
Why?
In APC, the issue of certificate forgery is not an offense. Because
in APC,
okay. It's not an offense, because we saw the man that contested the last election under APC. After he had gone through the INEC screening, whatever screening they needed to do, they went through all his documents. They cleared him, and he contested. I'm talking about Muhammad Buhari. It was while he was in office that issue of his disqualification came as a result of not having O-level. You know, it was an issue. But he was already elected a president. So, and the APC managed that situation. Do not ask me how they managed it, because it is a precedent I wouldn't like to be set in Nigeria. Now, that one passed. Look at the next person that came up as president. There was still issue of certificate with Chicago University and things like that. And you see how APC had managed that. So you now ask yourself, how come Senate didn't track out this Uche Nnaji's certificate forgery? You see that even the man that sits as the Senate president has the issue with qualification to contest election that brought him to power. So when you look at all those things, I think it should be a collective reasoning for any right-thinking Nigeria to know that Bola Tinubu might not relieve Uche Nnaji of his appointment just because of certificate forgery. But another thing is that I want to believe that Uche Nnaji is not a daft. He must have read. But if there are issues with his certificates, I think it is something that even he should be able to clarify. Though he has come openly to say that the claim of UNN and NYSC is not correct. If at all, because I'm not expecting that the APC government will go to investigate that, but if ADC feels that they have concern for that, let them go and do that. Uche is my brother, but I would not say because he's my brother and ask him to continue with irregularity or do something that is wrong. If your certificate have issue, go and clear it. That's even why I have a brother who schooled in UST here and finished and couldn't get his certificate because of one or two things that happened while in his first year. So he had to now go back to school and spend another 4 years before he could get a certificate. So if that is the problem with Uche Nnaji, and you see the office, the ministry is handling, Ministry of Science and Research and all that. It's not something an open-headed, or if I may say, door-headed person will handle. So if that issue of certificate is not well trashed out, well, let those who have concern follow it up. Otherwise, I would say let the man continue his work. Because in the APC arrangement, such offense is not an offense. That's the way I look at it.
From the information I'm having here, they said that Uche Nnaji confessed to not having, he confessed in court filing, in a case he instituted against the Minister of Education, the National Universities Commission, the University of Nigeria, its Vice Chancellor, and its Registrar, and an acting Vice Chancellor, and the Senate of the university. This suit is before Justice Hawa Yilwa of the Federal High Court in Abuja, right? And, from what I am seeing here, in paragraph 12 and 13 of his 34 paragraph verifying affidavit supporting the motion, they said he made a stunning revelation accusing UNN officials of refusing to issue him a certificate. And in the process of saying this, he's confirming that he never collected one. So if the question is, if he's accusing UNN of refusing to issue him certificates, how did he obtain the certificate he presented?
That was the first question I asked.
And then in paragraph 12, he stated that the university admitted him in 1981 to study microbiology and chemistry, and that he completed the program and graduated in 1985. But paragraph 13, let me quote what he said in paragraph 13. He said that even though I am yet, just what he said, I'm not reading the entire paragraph. He said that even though I am yet to collect my certificates from the third defendant, that's UNN, due largely to the non-cooperative attitude of the third to fifth defendants, that's UNN, his Vice Chancellor and the Registrar. The third defendant issued a letter, that is UNN. The third defendant issued a letter dated 21st December 2023 to People's Gazette, attention Samuel Ogundipe, which stated amongst other things as follows. This is to confirm that Geoffrey Uche Nnaji with registration number 1981/30725 was admitted in 1981 to study microbiology, biochemistry in the University of Nigeria and Nsukka. Mr. Geoffrey Uche Nnaji graduated from the University of Nigeria in July 1985 with a Bachelor of Science in Microbiology and Biochemistry, second class, lower division. So, if he's here to collect his certificate, was it a letter he presented?
That is the question we are now asking. I raised this issue. Does it mean he picked these things from a cyber cafe? So,
but the thing is, you before the university gives you a letter, you also have statement of results.
Yes, which I believe that it wouldn't have been possible. It wouldn't have been possible if his statements of result were not collected. But because, look, I had an issue. I finished a school, a certain school I attended. I finished in, I think that is the 2020. But I had issue. in that school that made me not to graduate.
The same UNN?
Not UNN.
Okay.
Yeah, another institution that made me not to graduate that same year. So I had to come back, and before that issue occurred, already it's like they have compiled the list of the graduates. So by the next year, I came back to correct those things. Do you know that I was shocked that certificate was written, my name was written in the certificate of 2020, whereas I finished my course in 2021, and another certificate was issued. So when I saw when somebody working in the registry calls my attention to it, I say, please keep that of 2020, give me 2021, and that is what I kept. Do you see to that? So maybe this issue of discrepancies from workers and offices in our higher institution is just something else that it can frustrate a man who is fast in moving in life. So it is possible that why they delayed that of Uche might have left it and gone maybe to do whatever he needed to do. But the question I'm asking is, how did he go to service without his certificate?
U-Service, you can actually go to U-Service with statement of
with
results.
Just statement of results.
Yes.
Then why are they dragging him? If truly UNN can say this young man graduated with a Bachelor of Science, BSc, in our institution, and it is now the UNN that is keeping the certificate of this young man, and not that the young man didn't go to school or he's presented his fraud. That's why I said that dealing with this issue with APC is a complex one. But Uche, yes, it's a complex one. But Uche, from the presentation he made here in court,
he never collected
the original certificate. It's still with UNN.
Yes, it's
so
let's and they are uncooperative. However, a letter was given to him. Which is the letter that he presented in place of the certificate.
And which means the investigating group or body should now go back to UNN, and perhaps the Ministry of Education should also force UNN to get the certificate of this young man. Does it mean it was all written as a 1985? If it was written, it must be somewhere in the office. Because these institutions do not have right or power to discard information, documents.
Now, this is the thing about that letter. He said that the letter was signed by UNN Registrar Celine Nebedum. It was sent to this investigating body in response to an inquiry, but the contents have since been invalidated. He said Mrs. Nebedum later recanted in the letter to the Public Complaints Commission in May 2025, stating that the university searched its 1985 graduation records, but could not find Mr. Nnaji's name.
Nnaji.
Sorry, could not find Mr. Nnaji's name. Now, if this is the case, one would now say, why did she...
On what ground did she
now write the letter in the first place and later recanted?
Verify.
So probably there is something that is going on that Nigerians need to find out.
So because you can't tell me that a registrar will issue a letter.
Just listen. UNN Vice Chancellor confirmed in a letter dated October 3, 2025, that Mr. Nnaji did not complete his studies and was never awarded a degree. So now the question is not whether he got admission into UNN.
But
from what is here, he actually did get admission. The question is, did he complete his studies? Did UNN issue him a degree to that effect?
If the Vice Chancellor has said that he actually studied with that school, I just gave you an instance here. I studied to the extent that it was just remaining either my exams or so, and I had issue. And because the school had followed my statement of results, and my name was among the graduates of 2020. I didn't collect that because I know I didn't write the last exam, the final exam.
Well, as we round up, a senior university official told this particular newspaper, Premium Times, I will have to mention their name, that the institution investigated Mrs. Nebedum's letter, that letter that he presented in place of certificate, and concluded that it is either some people in the records office were influenced or manipulated to cover up for Nnaji, or it was a sincere mistake by the registry. How do you even make this kind of mistake? Now, the official also added, the truth remains that Mr. Nnaji never graduated from UNN. His file is intact. So he has a file. It contains details up to the point where he dropped out. Well, I think I think the thing is we will still have to, do more investigations.
Yes, there is need for more further investigation, and also this should serve as an eye-opener to Nigerian universities and politicians and students too, because some students, while they are young, can just push these things with a wave of hand, and after all, I have graduated, I have gained the knowledge. Okay, you have gained the knowledge, but you need your certificate.
Right.
So with this, I think it will serve as an eye-opener to generality of the citizens of Nigeria.
I wish we have more time, but unfortunately we are out of time. Thank you so much.